first visual is in. Iran's delegation has reached Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's office because remember we had told you earlier on India Today that according to what Iranian media is saying, there could be first a separate individual meeting with Pakistan Prime Minister and then there could be, if at all, an indirect negotiation. Now Iran delegation will be meeting the Pakistan Prime Minister scheduled at about 1:30 p.m. Key Iran-Pakistan meeting will be at Shehbaz Sharif's office. That delegation has arrived and it's going to be interesting. Meeting Shehbaz Sharif separately, individually, and then the American delegation would do the same. What kind of a negotiation this really is going to be, apart from what should have been a mediator role, instead has turned out to be perhaps taking one person's proposal and condition and giving it to the other side. There should have been a crosstalk. Very likely, for now, we are told it's going to be an indirect negotiation after the courtesies are done. But amid all of this, it's Field Marshal Asim Munir grabbing all the spotlight because he received, one in the combat uniform, the Iranian delegation, and then in the civilian suit, reached out to J.D. Vance as well, posturing himself clearly at the top of the leadership. Many would say in Pakistan, that is actually the case as well. However, for now, going by the protocol, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's office is where the Iranian delegation has reached. We'll try and get that visual for you in just a short while. But 1:30 is that Iran-Pakistan meeting scheduled, and then the USA-Iran meeting also is going to take place. So the negotiations have begun. But like the observers and experts on our panel as well since morning have been telling you, that this wouldn't be, in all likelihood, just one meeting. There could be different rounds of meeting. It could span over days and weeks. And therefore, it is likely whether it's in Pakistan or other countries. But for now, the negotiation is not immediately going to come to a fruition. Especially, look at the 10-point proposals or the conditions by Tehran. It's in complete opposition to what the USA has been asking for. These visuals, of course, and we'll put both the visuals of arrival of the Iranian delegation and the American delegation, because that is reflective of not only the fact that right now, of course, Islamabad is the venue for the negotiation, but who all were there? Pakistan Foreign Minister and Deputy PM Ishaq Dar, Mohsin Naqvi, he's also the Interior Minister. He was there to receive J.D. Vance as well. And there was, of course, with all smiles and hugs when it came to the Iranian delegation, like a brother in arms, was Field Marshal Asim Munir. But one cannot ignore, barely a few months ago, remember, there was a full-on conflict between Iran and Pakistan as well. But together, right now, appearing and with the posturing done, that we are brothers and we'll stand together in this. With the Americans as well, clearly reflecting as Asim Munir continues to speak to J.D. Vance. And remember J.D. Vance's body language. He's also turning around to speak to Asim Munir, while on his left is literally the highest representative from the government in Pakistan who's present there on the location. Iran's big statement has also come ahead of talks. Iran's vice president saying deal possible with America first. Israel first means no deal. This is very interesting. This is the internal dynamic of that region. There is a reason, ladies and gentlemen, that Israel was not at this venue. One, because Pakistan doesn't officially recognize Israel. Iran does not wish to talk to Israel. So America has come in. And one of the reasons also that Israel continues to pound Lebanon, because it says it is their existential crisis. They want to target the Hezbollah sites. Iran says if this is going to be Israel first, there will be no deal. That's the term that Tehran is setting for talks. Iran's vice president says deal will be possible only with America first. Iran is warning of a stronger response if at all the deal does not have a breakthrough. And if there is no deal, also saying a higher global cost will have to be borne. So clearly, viewers, Iran has realized that it has not only been able to keep the top two forces at bay, Israel and the USA, but also can have an upper hand when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz, when it comes to the mines it claims it has put underwater in the strait, and of course with the forces, the retaliation it has managed to do. American media, American intelligence agencies claiming China is sending out weapons through a third country toward Iran. They're building support for Iran in the weeks to come. So that is the big news that has come in, that Tehran has set the term for talks. But no clarity right now about what kind of a negotiation it will be and what role will Pakistan also play. Let's go across to India Today's Gaurav Sawant, who's been tracking this conflict for years now, literally. But this is the main point, Gaurav. What kind of negotiations are we looking for where they will likely not even sit across the table? How are you looking at this protocol process? What is it?
So Iran anyway feels very let down by the United States of America. Twice in the past, they've sat together, they've had negotiations with countries, for example, like Oman, being in that same room, negotiating, Iran agreeing to virtually everything, Oman being the guarantor, saying Iran has agreed to virtually everything, and then America went and bombed Iran. So that's why Iran has very little faith in especially Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. And that is why America had to escalate it to the level of their Vice President J.D. Vance, because reports in America seem to indicate that he was the only one who wasn't entirely on board on militarily targeting Iran in the manner in which Iran was targeted on the 28th of February. He was of the opinion that you need to deliberate consequences much deeper, better. And in the end, perhaps he's been proven right. That's why Iran wants to engage with him. But right now, not on the same page. The Iranian delegation will meet the Pakistani side. The Pakistani side will carry that message then to the American side. The American side and the Pakistani side will meet. Then they will carry that message back to the Iranian side. And then they'll see whether there is middle ground that can be found. If I may, Iranian media just now is reporting that they want agenda to be set first. What are the broad talking points? Unless that is decided and agreed to, no point of this dialogue.
Also, Gaurav, I want to briefly discuss, before we go back to that big point proposal, the body language of Asim Munir. He's clearly grabbing all the spotlight while there are literally a deputy prime minister, foreign minister, interior minister there. Let's talk about that too, because these are two visuals in a combat uniform one, then in a civilian suit. What are you looking at the posturing being done by the Field Marshal Asim Munir here?
So for decades, everyone knew in Pakistan, it's only the army that matters. It's only an older generation of political leadership and diplomats in India who wanted to remain engaged only with the civilian leadership on Pakistan and encourage Pakistan to become a democracy. It really doesn't matter, because Pakistan is not a democracy. It's not even a sham democracy. Even the current Prime Minister of Pakistan is called Form 42nd Prime Minister, Form 47 Prime Minister. He's there at the mercy of Asim Munir. He knows that. The world knows that. So the world directly engages with the real power in Pakistan, which is Asim Munir. Very carefully chosen, meeting the Iranian delegation in uniform because that impresses Iran more. It's more like a military state, and a civilian dress when he's meeting the American delegation, because that clicks well with the Americans better, and especially with J.D. Vance. So this is very clear posturing. He is the real power center in Pakistan. He is the one they're engaging with.
Gaurav, as we're looking at these visuals, the American delegation that's arrived in Islamabad, but so has the Iranian delegation as well. I'm looking at the points proposal. Trump wants enriched uranium to be surrendered. It wants no nuke development for Iran, but that's exactly what Iran is asking for. The USA wants the Strait of Hormuz to be a free trade, while Iran wants a formal legal right. What kind of a negotiation are we even looking at when plus Israel is not even on the table?
So day one, before talks start, it's the maximalist position for the world and for their domestic audiences. Both are going with that 100% position. It's only behind the scenes that there would have been some back channel, because especially if a vice president of a country is gone and you're the foreign minister and the speaker of the other country who's there, some points where there can be meeting ground. Those are the issues they will talk about. Naturally, America wanting Strait of Hormuz to be opened first. Well, that's Iran's trump card. If they open the Strait of Hormuz, there's clearly nothing else that America would want, and they'll dilly-dally and delay everything else. So Iran will want to delay the Strait of Hormuz as much as they can. They would want firing to stop in Lebanon. Maybe that's a give as far as the Israelis are concerned, because that is where Israel right now, even as you and I speak, as Pranay Upadhyay, a colleague on Ground Zero, risking his life, sending those reports, has been said, telling us that Israel is pounding Hezbollah strongholds. And that is even if there is a ceasefire, at least they've achieved some of their war aims. So that's why any stronghold, any building, any road, any bridge that can further Hezbollah's agenda, they want to target it. And look, Israel has a completely different take, Pooja, if I
Correct,
may.
exactly. And
Go on.
Go ahead, finish your point, yes.
So Israel says, why should Hezbollah be a part of this? When the war started, the war on the 28th was between Israel, Iran and the United States of America. Hezbollah joined in on March 2. So Hezbollah is not part of the main war. It cannot be part of the main negotiations for peace. That's a separate story. Hezbollah started the war on the 2nd of March. Hezbollah will have to face consequences. Lebanon is not part of this because Lebanon anyway outtold Hezbollah, you cannot be a part of any military operations inside that country. So that's a separate track. Iran says no, United States says yes, and now we have to see if common ground can be found there.